To be making reference to something which is very novel in town, and it is the big talk across Nigeria right now. We're talking about CNG. So we're taking the seal of compressed natural gas powered vehicles for transportation. And my guest is here in the building. Babafemi Oluwaseun is Technical Director, Verde Dynamo CNG Limited. He's joining me right now. Oluwaseun, nice to have you in the building. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor.
And how are you doing?
I'm excellent. I'm fine.
Beautiful. You have to move closer to the microphone so we can hear you very well. So what's going on? How was your journey here this morning?
Oh, well, pretty straightforward.
Okay.
The traffic is not so bad.
Yes, for a Saturday like this one, right?
Saturday morning. And because people really don't drive with expensive petrol anymore, you have to park your car.
Okay. Maybe you might have the solution for us in that regard. Because sometime in May this year, we had a chat with you on CNG. And back then, I remember it was still an academic, idea. So would you say the CNG concept is now holding sway now in Nigeria?
Oh, well, right now it's already a big thing. Everyone is at it because of the new increase in pump price of PMS. So for now, in fact, the demand on our neck is something else.
It's so huge. So it's a child of necessity right now.
It is a whole lot. I'm having to train a whole lot of people right now. In fact, right now, one of my major focus is training and retraining people so that we can have more technicians that can handle over 11 million vehicles we have in this country.
That's very true. So I'm just curious, how did you get into it? Because I do not know, but is it to say you've had this knowledge before now, or how did you get plugged into CNG?
Oh, CNG. Let's just say I'm somebody who knows how to look at opportunity, how to look at the trend and know how the world is going, then plan ahead. So I've been at it for more than 4 years now. So immediately I saw the trajectory, I said, okay, let's talk to some guys in Poland. Let's see one or two things we can do, training here and there. And some of our colleagues and guys here in Lagos, in Nigeria, who already know this thing, we came together and we started building it.
So you had that idea that, look, this is the future. Let me just begin to jump into it right away.
Yes, of course.
Wow. So let's do some sort of concept clarification this morning, Oluwaseun. What is CNG?
Okay, CNG is compressed natural gas. I'll tell you what CNG is and what CNG is not. CNG is not the gas you use at home.
Oh, good.
It's not the one you use in cooking at home. That one you use in cooking at home is called LPG, liquefied petroleum gas.
Oh.
It is a derivative of crude oil. So whatever affects crude oil would definitely affect the price of that one.
Okay.
CNG is compressed natural gas.
Meaning
that natural gas that has been compressed under pressure into a smaller container for you to use. If I use the word LNG, I'm talking about liquefied natural gas.
Okay.
I'm talking about natural gas that has been cooled to roughly around minus 162 degrees Celsius, turned into liquid. It's still natural gas, but it has been cooled and turned into liquid. Okay. When you compress it so that you can have more of it in a container, it's called compressed natural gas. If you pass it through a pipeline, it's called piped natural gas, PNG. Okay. But you see LNG, PNG, CNG, they are all the same. It's just a mode of transportation that is determining whether it will be L, it will be C or P. Right. But when you talk about LPG, it is a derivative of crude oil.
Yes, so are you now saying that CNG is not also a derivative of crude oil?
Because you don't need crude oil you don't have to refine crude oil to get CNG.
You mean it?
Yes. Natural gas occurs naturally. In fact, it's what you sometimes it may be together with crude oil. You have to take it out first. When you take it out, then you can now reach the crude oil.
Okay.
And sometimes it may just be a gas reserve on its own. And Nigeria happens to be one of the largest gas reserves we have in Africa.
Oh,
yes.
So is that same gas?
Yes, Nigeria is a gas nation that has oil. We are not a oil nation that has gas.
Which is more, gas or oil?
Gas is more. Oil is a touch.
You mean it?
Yes.
So with all that we have enough gas in Nigeria?
Even untapped ones are still there that they've not even touched.
Wow, that's revelation.
It's a whole lot.
Right. So now you're now saying that CNG different from LPG, which is more volatile of the two.
Well, LPG is more volatile, but because of knowledge, we are more comfortable with it in our home. Because at a particular time, we're not so comfortable. Our parents were not comfortable with LPG. Like, oh, this thing used to explode. Please don't. But now, because of knowledge, we now know what the safety standards are, how to operate it. We are more comfortable. Some people even put it inside their kitchen, which is not advisable. You see, but for CNG, compressed natural gas, you are dealing with a gas with a very narrow flammability. If CNG in a confined space is less than 5%, it will not burn. If it's more than 15%, it will not burn. Then the flammability window is between 5 and 15%.
Wow. Okay, so now that we're talking CNG is on the lips of virtually everyone. Is it just a Nigerian trend, or is it a global phenomenon?
Oh, it may be new to us here, but you see, for some countries, more than 20 years ago, they've been using it for their vehicle. Go to Europe, India, Argentina, Brazil, Turkey. They've been using this technology. I mean, they've added more than 20 years. It's not new to them.
So it's not new?
It's not new at all. But again, the thing is,
right.
First, this is good for the climate because you are dealing with methane here. So you need to see the vehicle I drive. I mean, I can show you my engine oil. After servicing, after 3 months of service, my engine oil is still very clean. Very clean because the carbon content in CNG is very low. Very, very low. Okay. So with that sludge, you can reduce sludge in your vehicle. It means your engine will even last better than running on petrol, because sludge is one of the major things that kill the car engine. And sludge is built up of carbon. And when you're using a fuel that is very low in carbon, what happens? Very few small sludge.
So, Seun, the question, and the very big question now, is why is the Nigerian government very, very intense on transitioning from petrol to CNG?
Okay, because I'm not in the government, I may not be able to say, but I will tell you what I think. First, because of the price of petrol, and you can see the president really looking at the way the crude oil prices and price of PMS all around the world is going. Nigeria does not exist in isolation. So if the price is going up in other parts of the world to a particular extent, you cannot say it should be different in Nigeria. Of course, somebody can argue and say, oh, we have fuel, why don't we, just have our own subsidized? But again, we can all see that subsidy is not good business.
Right.
So, but if we move to a gas that we know we have, that we do not need very big refineries to be able to,
process it.
Just take it through maybe take out some impurities, some associated gases and everything, and you're fine. So the cost of producing CNG is actually lower. Wow. So we do not need all this issue with refinery. We do not need crude oil prices in dollars. All those things, we don't have it there.
So you mean if we transit to gas, we do not need any of these technicalities that we're dealing with when it comes to refineries and all of that?
Yes, not really, but of course there are some processes that will go there. You have to take out some impurities. Even some of you can add ethane, propane in the gas, but with more of it, what you add there is more of methane. Then the compression, of course. And if somebody argued and said, "Oh, if we all move to this thing, will the price not go up?" Then I will just answer them. Whatever the price of CNG any day, anytime, it will be far, 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 far better and lesser compared to PMS.
So let's talk. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, and how do I prove this? See, number one, look at the price difference on CNG all around the world, not just Nigeria, for the past 10 years. Right from 2010, this CNG, I think around 2009 or so.
Right.
Yeah, it was sold for around say maybe 120, 130. Now it's between 200 and 230. So what was the price of PMS as at that time?
Oh, wow.
What is the difference right now? So even the difference you can see, it is relatively stable.
Right. Okay then, so Seun, I needed to talk to someone who's listening to you right now and is asking, what are the real benefits of me having to switch to CNG? I wanted to convince someone this morning.
Oh, well, I will start with the disadvantage because the benefits are a lot.
Okay.
But because I like to go straight to the point. This is the disadvantage. You will lose a part of your boot space, at least 1/3 of it.
Okay, if the conversion is done.
Yes, because that's where your tank will stay.
Oh.
Now, the advantage is this: you run on dual fuel. It means that you can go ahead and choose. You can wake up this morning and say, I want to run on petrol. Tomorrow you say, no, just press a button and go straight to CNG. You can be going on the road and say, okay, I just want to waste my fuel. From gas, I move to petrol. You move. Then you say, oh, no. You can press one button and your car will not stop. Number two, CNG is relatively cheap. Before, I will tell you whatever price you spend on petrol divided by 3. That's what you spend on CNG. Not now. Right now, I would tell you divide it by 5. In fact, in some cases, divide by 6.
Okay.
So, I mean, I bought gas. I was going to Abuja.
Right.
So my team, they were driving to Abuja in a V6 vehicle. Then they bought gas for 5,000 naira, and they almost got to Owo before the gas finished. Then they switched to petrol because there was no place to buy gas. They forgot to top up at Ibadan.
Okay.
So the next stop along that Ibadan Abuja route will probably be in Kogi State,
where you can get gas.
So they had to now use petrol to that place, then got another 4,800 gas, then they got to Abuja.
So you mean 5,000 gas took them all the way from Lagos
to Owo?
Wow, that's a distance of over 300 or so kilometers.
Yes.
Wow, that's massive.
Then I have one customer, that came. The man came with a Tundra. In fact, they had to do a recording I put on our social media for that man. He came to abandon the vehicle. He said, this vehicle will not take my life. He spent over 220,000 naira just to go from Lagos to, I think, Uromi and come back. And he said, if this kind of trip, he will probably do it like maybe 4 to 5 times in a month. He said, if he's doing that, that means he's spending over 1 million naira on petrol because he's driving a V8. Immediately he brought the vehicle, we did the retrofitting for him, and he's spending roughly maybe around, say, 28 to 30,000 naira now.
Right, so there are lots of advantages that are in there. So are there specifications of cars that can be converted to CNG usage?
Well, for us, with our level of technicality, there are no cars that cannot be converted.
No cars?
Even carburetor system. The old carburetor system, we convert them. We've done several.
Wow.
It's just to get the right kit. Then also, even if it's a GDI engine, which is quite tough, it has its own special kit for it. We also do that. So there is hardly any car, as long as it's a internal combustion engine. Yeah, it can all be converted.
All right. So now let's talk about the environmental and economic benefits of CNG vehicles. I know that in all of this, there are so many narratives that are being pushed out there, even by the government. The environmental impacts of CNG. So talk to me. Okay,
for environmental impact, amongst all the fossil fuel, I mean the ones that we know, CNG is still the best for the environment because of the gases, the particulate matters inside, the carbon content. We are dealing with methane. So of course, we are dealing with things like other things like nitrogen oxides, and the other harmful chemicals that are inside hydrocarbon. They are very, very reduced. So in some places, they will even call it green energy. Of course, we know it's not so green because it's still from hydrocarbon.
Right.
But in some places, it will pass as green energy. So for us to even reduce our carbon footprint, we should move to CNG. If I fire my car now, you will not even see smoke coming out from the exhaust.
No smoke at all.
No, you won't even see it.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so where are we now with the government? Let's just reflect through, because I know when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in, he set up a presidential steering committee on compressed natural gas. That is an initiative he has put in place. So where are we with implementing all that has been said with the policies of Mr. President with CNG?
Well, all policies, they have different phases. There is the policy, there is the intent of the policy, the intention is good. Then also implementation, which is one of the major issues we have in this country. Mm-hmm. But so far, so good. The PCNGI, they are really trying.
Okay.
They launched this, the first phase, which was for the commercial vehicles. So some of the registered conversion centers, the affiliate partners of PCNGI, were given some kits.
Okay.
And they are the ones who send us the names of the commercial, and the vehicle numbers of this.
Are you one of the partners?
Yes, I'm one of the partners. I'm one of the partners.
With the government?
Yes, we are registered with NADDC. That's the body that licenses us. Then also we are affiliate partners with PCNGI. Now, though there will be some challenges here and there because we also have our own jobs. We have customers lined up for us. Then PCNGI is giving us kits and saying do it for free for people. So we would have to look for, maybe we'll do 5 year, because we also have to do the ones that are, because we don't work for them all through. But again, they are trying their best in everything. They would bring in the kits, then they will send you the names of the people that you should do the conversion for. So I think they walk through the union, like the NURTW,
Okay.
RTIN, then there's another union also.
Yeah.
So each one of them will come with their own serial numbers and say, okay, so they will just identify themselves being the vehicle. Then the second phase is for the e-hailing guys. As of last week, they launched the 50% discount.
Okay.
Now, I know some people called, but that was done in Ibadan and one other state, I think Zaria also.
Okay.
Yeah, where some selected conversion centers were given some kits and said the first set of people who will, 50 people who would call in for this between so and so time, so and so time. I think he finished that same day, and you need to see the numbers.
Wow.
So those ones also got 50%.
Now, these kits for conversion now, they are handed over by the federal government for free?
Yes, for free.
Let's talk about the infrastructure for CNG-powered vehicles. How far have we gone? Can I, if I convert my vehicle, for instance, now, where will I be able to refuel if I need to power up the vehicle with CNG?
Okay. Well, for now, I know in Lagos, I know of 5 places where you can refuel. I know of Agidingbi, very close to you here.
Where in Agidingbi?
The mobile filling station at Agidingbi.
Oh, okay. All right.
Then there is another mobile filling station in Mushin, that challenge area. Is it Palm Avenue or something? There's a Mushin mobile filling station there.
Okay.
There's another one at Apapa Mobile Road. Then there is another one at, I think, Shongotedo. Then there is one Indian company in Ikorodu that also sells, I think, beside this company. What's the name of this company in Ikorodu? Yeah.
Okay, so that's one there too.
There is another one along Lagos Ibadan Expressway. That one is a mother station. Okay. Then the one they launched at Ilasa, NNPC.
Right.
We saw the video everywhere, and since then they've not sold one CNG. The place is under lock and key.
You've gone there?
Yes, and I think the media needs to ask them, why would you launch something, put it in the face of everybody and say you have started, until date it is locked?
Wow. Okay, that's a very big question to answer, really, and that's something we'll continue to trail from time.
Yeah, you may want to find out from them.
Yes. All right, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning on the program, we're taking the seal of CNG-powered vehicles for transportation, and my guest is Babafemi Oluwaseun. He's a technical director, Verde Dynamo CNG. He's been into it. He says he caught the vision over 4 years ago, and now that it's the in thing in town, of course, he's taking full advantage to also empower people with the knowledge. If you have any questions for him this morning on the program, feel free to connect with us right now. We have some limited time left on the program. 08099120777. That's 080991207777 and 09153877127. Those are the numbers that you can connect with us this morning. Oluwaseun, how safe is CNG for our vehicles? Because that's the apprehension people have out there.
Okay. Well, I will tell you that CNG in your vehicle is safer than the petrol you currently use. Sometimes when I used to drive on petrol, I'll just wonder. I said the fuel tank is just directly under the seats, and my kids are sitting there. So every time I look at them, I'm like, these children are sitting on top of petrol. But you see, because of information, and also because I know that the way the car was designed, it's safe for it to be there, and that's why it's there. But even at that, you see, that very tank for CNG is about the strongest metal on the body of your vehicle.
Wow.
I dare say it's a bulletproof. It's actually a bulletproof.
Okay.
Yeah.
How big is the tank, by the way?
Well, it depends on the size.
Okay.
For most 4-plug cars, we use 65 liters, which will fit in properly. And that should take a 4-plug vehicle roughly 140 to 160 kilometers. Yes. And you fuel that with roughly around 3,500.
How?
Yeah, that should take you to Ibadan.
And bring you back?
Yeah, for some cars, like the Toyota Corolla and the rest of them, with that 3.5, you go to Ibadan and come back.
Oof. All right, some questions are coming in for you here, Oluwaseun. This one says, good morning. It says, how does the cost of CNG compare to conventional fuels like petrol and diesel in the current market? Deji is sending that one in.
Cost. It's obvious. Okay, currently in the stations in Lagos here, you buy for 230 naira per SCM. Then petrol is roughly around 900 plus. And the difference is clear. So what I will use 3,500 naira to do, you'll probably be needing roughly around 28 to 30,000 naira worth of petrol to do it.
So it's relatively cheap.
Relatively cheap.
Wow.
But the cost of conversion may be high, but you see, that's why I tell people, first and foremost, you need to look at the running cost is what matters. Your running cost is what matters. Sometimes people will spend so much so that their running costs can be lower.
Okay, so I'm curious now, because by the time you do all this kind of conversion, considering the state of the roads that we have, your vehicle Jackson here, Bagam, Bogun, one pothole, that pothole, you're running, and you know how things go, wear and tear. We want to have a disconnection somehow.
Okay, as long as the engine in your vehicle was bolted to the car and you've gone through all this bagang, the engine didn't fall down.
All right.
The CNG tank is also bolted to the chassis of your vehicle.
Okay.
There is a steel belt we use. There is a steel bracket that has to, there are standards to it. So we make a steel bracket for it where it sits. Then that steel bracket is screwed directly to the chassis of your vehicle from the boots.
Okay.
So for that reason, it is now part of your vehicle.
So there's no way
that can happen.
All right. Another message here says, good morning. It says, happy weekend. Are there any other environmental benefits to use CNG powered vehicles apart from reduced emissions? Thanks, Lekon from Magboro. Is sending that one in.
Well, the environmental benefit, number one, is always about the emission. That's what affects the environment the most. But maybe you talk about, I'm even trying to say, okay, of course, your engine oil, most times, because you have to, service frequently, like 4 to 5 times in a year. That black engine oil sometimes end up in the gutters on the road. But with CNG, probably you may have to service just once a year.
Wow.
If you are so nice, you want to do it twice a year, max. And your engine oil is not as black as the one from petrol.
Okay. So it has a whole lot of advantages then.
Yes, please.
Okay, then 08099120777. Put your calls through. I have any questions for my guest this morning, who is a technocrat in this area, really. Feel free to connect with us. This one says, good morning, sir. I am interested in the training. How do I go about it, and how much? From AG. Sorry.
They will bill me for that one if I say it here.
Oluwaseun will not be able to talk about that on the program this morning. But of course, I can give you his contact at the end of the program so that you can connect with him. And then...
Hello?
Okay. Hello there. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Bode.
Bode, how are you doing?
I'm very good.
All right. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Sulu.
Okay, so Bode, I have Oluwaseun here, and he's talking all things CNG. I don't know if have you been able to convert your vehicle to a CNG powered fuel?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Not yet. Yeah, but I think I will.
Okay.
Yes, spoken very well about it.
Okay.
So I just want to ask Bode. I want to ask Babafemi.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What changes can we expect, in terms of cost of transportation, if CNG-powered vehicles become like more mainstream? We will have the commercial buses, all convert to CNG. Will transportation costs reduce drastically?
Very big question. Bode, thank you so much. Who will respond to that? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bode. Now, for transport, it will and it should go down if well managed. Like I said, implementation is always the thing. Now, we have vehicles already running on CNG. We have e-hailing guys running on CNG. Now, if you enter their buses and you say, oh, why are you not charging less? They say, do you know how much I use in doing this thing? Now, that is because there are still very few of them who are doing it. By the time the union like NURTW, you have over 90% of your vehicles at a park running on CNG. We can now prevail on them to drop, because where you were spending 30,000, now you are spending 5,000. You are spending 4,000. You can now not still be carrying that same vehicle, collecting the same amounts. But when you have just few people and more that are using petrol, the ones using petrol will still be charging a particular amount. So those ones will hide under them and still collect that money.
Okay.
But by the time you have 90% of the whole vehicle in a park running on CNG, there is no way the cost will not drop. I mean,
all right. This one says, "Good morning, Victor. Please, what is the cost implication of the kits and labor?" Okay, wait. Okay, I've got it. Wait. So, good morning, Victor. Please, what is the cost implication of the kits and labor for an SUV? SUV rather. Babatunde is sending that one in. What's the cost for converting?
Well, okay, if you permit me here, I would give the cost that I'm familiar with, which is what we charge. Others may charge lesser or higher than that.
Okay.
So I know.
So averagely, within how much?
Averagely, for a 4-plug vehicle, you should spend roughly around 1 million, 1.2.
Wow, to do the conversion?
Yes, please.
That's
huge.
huge.
And it takes roughly 3 days.
Okay. This one says, "Good morning, sir. Say kudos for this great innovation. Thanks. Say, but please, sir, what can we do to assist Nigerians on the conversion rate? The economy is not smiling presently." Olu Aloko is sending that one. Olu Aloko is one of our very ardent listeners. Olu Aloko, thank you. Let's take this call. Hello there.
Good morning, Mr. Victor. This is Dr. Busari.
Dr. Busari, it's nice to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning to your guest. I admire his presentation.
Right.
I heard him saying that he's working alongside with the federal government.
Yes.
I disagree with him on the aspect that says that the transportation cost should be brought down.
Why?
You know, in Nigeria, anything that goes up, it hardly comes down. So he, as a consultant to the federal government, he should tell them that once that is done, government should enforce, price control.
Okay.
Because it is then they will now start telling you that it is not only CNG that they are using. The other parts of the cars are also very expensive. We all know Nigeria.
Okay.
Once something goes up, it hardly comes down. They will find justification to maintain, that price that they are charging. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Busari, for that one. This one says, "Good morning, sirs. Can I transfer the tank of a CNG into a different car if I change my vehicle? Thank you." No name added to that one. All right. So is that possible?
Well, technically it's possible, but according to the laws in the country right now, when we are done with your conversion, we register you on the NEDDC portal.
Oh.
Now, there is a conversion document, like a conversion certificate we'll give to you that marries your plate number or your vehicle documents with the serial number of the tank, the serial number of the gas ECU, the serial number of the kit itself, according to SON, that will marry it to that car. Now, to change that, we'll have to go back to the portal and go and change it and say it is now for this vehicle, because there is and that is where a standardization comes in, because now FRSC they now have the right to check your vehicle as you're going. If it's a gas-powered vehicle, that's why you should not convert with quacks who are not accredited to be able to, because if you're not accredited, you don't have access to the portal.
Right. So many questions are coming in, really. This one says, what safety measures are in place to ensure that CNG-powered vehicles are as safe as their petrol and diesel counterparts? Thank you.
I was already talking about it.
Right. This one says, "Hi, Onyeka here. Are there any risks associated with CNG with consumers that consumers should be aware of?" Thank you. This one says, "Victor and Babafemi, good morning. What financial incentives or subsidies are available for businesses or individuals looking to adopt CNG-powered vehicles?" It says, "Cheers." This is Muri sending this one in. Lots of questions are really coming in, really.
Let me start from the last one. That is why, I was on a program sometimes this week, and I said our banks need to get creative and solve real-time problems. Banks keep telling us they are giving loans. Most of the loans they give to SMEs, the conditions around them look as though they want to kill the business. But for the first time in this country, let them get creative and solve real problems. Right now, the cost of conversion. Maybe it's someone that is doing e-hailing or someone that earns a regular salary. You say, bring 30%.
Okay.
Bring the invoice from the conversion company. We'll fund it and spread the balance for you for 6 months. Which is very easy.
We're really out of time, really. This one says, good morning. My name is Oluwaseun from Ikeja. Please, does it have any effect like losing the CNG that I have already filled when a mechanic repairs my car? And where are the centers to convert our vehicles?
Okay. Our mechanics are already going through training. Like this Monday, in fact, we are having training this Monday, but I'm already giving some slot to members of Momtan and Nata free. I didn't charge them, yes, because that's my own contribution.
Wow.
So the more of our mechanics that we can train, if you have a mechanic that is skilled that you like so much, pay for him, let him come for training, so that at least for your own car, you are sure that when you convert, if he's doing other mechanical thing, he will not damage the gas system. The gas system is so straightforward. They don't have to damage if you know your work. But again, they should also get trained.
Let's go. Time is really fast. Oluwaseun, for those who want to reach you after this program, how can they do that quickly?
Okay, you can reach us on 0805 906 1302. 0805 906 1302. And on our social media, just look for Verde Dynamo CNG, or just Verde Dynamo, VERDE, then Dynamo, DYNAMO.
Right. We'll leave it at that for now. Babafemi Oluwaseun, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Okay, then. So we've tried in our own little way to demystify this CNG, which is out there. And I think you must have learned a lot from what he has said. So it's up to you now to take advantage of everything that he has said. We have to go. My name is Victor Terry. Maximum thanks to Dio Anthony. And of course, Afe John, who's of a social media unit. Not forgetting Dr. Emi Shodunke. And of course, to our executive producer, Tayo Akonle. I'll be back by 10:15 for Maritime Today.
Point to point on the road, rails, airways, and waterways. We bring you up to speed with the latest